I'm going to goblins. The goblins are speaking with my friend Grace and Alex Livingston. I'm going to my favorite podcast, and we're gonna talk about
And what vehicle are we gonna take?
the compact planes.
Oh, they're together.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Hey.
Hey, Alex.
What's up?
Hey, Alex.
Nothing much.
We're just playing a little intro song.
What's
Yeah.
up with you?
Oh, nothing.
Making a pic.
You know, lots of flying.
Oh, what was that?
Lots of flying. Wait, can I ask can I just get right into it?
Let's get right into
why?
it.
I did prepare a presentation.
Oh my god. Wait, can I just ask really quick, what is your deal with airplanes? Are you a pilot?
So, right now in flight school
I
at
had,
Kent
I
State,
figured something like that, but I didn't actually know what the deal, why we're talking about airplanes, but that's really cool.
training to become an airline pilot.
Oh my god.
Can
Wow.
I share my screen? Pause.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Really
Can I
my
just
first
go?
question.
What?
This is my first question, how to fly a plane, because we were watching the movie and we were both we could definitely do that.
Right.
So, but now we'll know how to do that.
So this will teach you how to fly a plane. So first thing you need to know are the four forces of flight. But you have your plane.
Mm-hmm.
Plane has four forces: lift, thrust, weight, drag.
Are these
The forces counter each other. So lift.
But are they like gears?
Are they what?
Are they comparable to gears in a car? Or is it just something different?
No, very different. These are all kind of imaginary, but there's not actual things that are I don't know how to describe it, but
it's like gravity.
yes, weight. So perfect starting point. Weight is gravity.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Weight counters lift. Lift is how plane gets off the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Thrust is how it moves through the air, and that's countered by drag. Think like air resistance.
Yeah.
So those are the four forces. You
Got it.
can't fly a plane if you don't have those four forces.
So if there's just no drag that day. But is there always drag?
There's always
there are
drag.
always all four of them. Okay.
Yeah. But so how does a plane get off the ground? How's lift created?
Oh,
got it.
Wait, so did you see this one, the four forces?
No, but now I see it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so does this make more sense now?
Yeah.
Okay, plane, you have your lift and weight,
Mm-hmm.
and then your thrust and drag.
Got it.
So lift counters weight, thrust counters drag. Next, how the plane gets off the ground. We create lift. This is called Bernoulli's principle. Don't know how to spell it. So basically what's happening here is this is the end of a wing. It's shaped, it's curved on the top, flat on the bottom. Air moves over the top and bottom of the wing, but because of the curve of the top of the wing, it moves faster over the top than it does the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a pressure differential because there's going to be higher velocity of air on the top, which means lower pressure, lower velocity on the bottom, which means higher pressure. High pressure will always seek low pressure. So that high pressure is pushing up, wanting to go up to the low pressure, getting the plane off the ground.
I remember learning about this in school and being like, no, like there's no way like an actual like air like, 'cause this was just about like a paper airplane or like something like
Yeah,
that. And I was like, there's no way like an actual airplane like uses that same principle. My teacher was like, it literally
it
does.
sure does. But so that's all it takes for a plane to get off the ground. But so now we're in the air. What do we gotta do? We gotta use our instruments. These are all the little buttons and gadgets you see. There's 6 main ones. It's just like the dashboard on your car. The first one, and they're always in the same order, like you see here. So 1, 2, 3. These two don't worry about. Those are VORs. You don't need to know about that. So, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the first one, airspeed indicator, tells you how fast you're going in knots. You don't use miles per hour.
They said that in the movie.
Yeah. That was
KNRT.
one of my notes on the movie is their airspeed indicator was in miles per hour.
Wow.
They didn't use knots.
Mm-mm.
But has a lot of stuff on it. It tells you, well, basically there's 4 main things. Green arc, which is, yeah, you can do whatever, you're good. Yellow arc is like, whoa, slow down, buddy. You're getting a little too fast. And then the red line is like, plane's about to fall apart, slow down. And in the green arc is also the white arc. The white arc has to do with your flaps. Flaps increase lift and drag, so they slow you down. And you can only have your flaps out whenever your speed is in the white arc.
Oh, like the flaps on the wings.
Yes,
Yes, I see those go off
exactly.
sometimes when I'm sitting by the wind.
And that's all there is with the airspeed indicator. So next is the attitude indicator.
Hey, attitude. Walk off.
Exactly.
Is it actually called that? Or is it called altitude?
No, it is the attitude
Oh my
indicator.
God.
Attitude. Walk off.
Right,
I would
right.
laugh so hard that I'd crash the plane.
Some people also call this the false horizon, though, because it's like this blue over brown here is supposed to be like the sky and then the ground. So this tells you like where your nose is pointing. If you're pointing up in a climb, down in a descent, or like on level path. So that's what this is telling you here. You want this yellow dot to be on the white line, and that means you're flying level. And then up here is how much bank you have, how much turn you're putting in. Right, right. So all these lines are degrees. You want to have max 45-degree banks. So
That's like
this
the
right
tilt.
here. Yes, yes.
And this is your, so it's like your attitude because you're
Exactly. You're like,
like tilted up or something. Okay.
yeah. Whenever I had my sidebar, whenever I had my one FAA exam and I had to explain how this worked, it works on a gyroscope and it spins vertically. And I remembered it because I was like, when I'm having an attitude, I'm gonna stand up, and vertical is like standing up on it. So that's how I remembered this one.
Sorry.
Um,
I'm over me.
Next one, altimeter. Altimeter is a little crazy because it's kind of 2 in 1. So basically, all it's doing is telling you how high above the ground you are. Because there's different types of altitude. There's MSL, which is mean sea level, so how far above sea level you are. And then AGL, which is above ground level. And that's what the plane tells you, this instrument. So right now you have your dials. This is your thousands, the small one, and then this is your hundreds. So right now you're at like, you're almost to 1,300 feet AGL, but you have to set this instrument. It's going to be different every time you fly. And that's because of the barometric pressure. So when that's where like high pressure and low pressure comes from, this little window here, these 299 and whatever, that's your pressure. So every time I get in a plane, I put in the weather frequency. I can, it's 119.15.
Whoa.
And it tells, it tells me the weather for the day, and it'll tell me like altimeter 299 or 2, which would be standard. So I'd set it to 299 or 2, and then it's gonna change these hands, and it's gonna tell me what the altitude is for that day.
Wait, so which one's the sea level one and which one's the above ground?
So this doesn't tell you sea level. This
Okay.
will only tell you ground level.
Okay.
You have to calculate sea level. So you have to know the elevation of where you're flying. So like for me, I know when I take off from Kent, the elevation is 1134. So if I was flying at Kent right now, and this is showing me I'm at 1300 feet, I'd add 1100 to that. So I'd be at 2400 feet sea level.
Wait, then what does this have to do with pressure? Because
So
this is altitude.
yes, the altitude changes based on the pressure because
Why?
it's really for the instrument to read correctly, because the altimeter is a pedostatic instrument, which means it's taking air in through the static port, and through that air, it's reading the pressure of it and comparing it to air that is set in the instrument.
Okay.
It's weird, but it works. And that's all we
Okay.
need to know. We don't have to question how it works. We just have to know that it does.
Okay.
Any questions so far?
So the 299, those are feet or those are
That's pressure. The 299, this window is all your pressure.
so what is
You
where's the feet measurements? The 1,000?
that's like this small knob here. Can you see my cursor moving
Yeah.
over
So
there?
if it's at like 1,300 right now, it's like 1,000 feet and then 300.
Yes, you have to
Pressure
add
No,
that.
1,300 feet.
But this is pressure.
This is pressure. So this is showing you you're basically at 1,000. Read it like a clock, like your
Yeah.
hours and
Yeah.
hands, or your hours and minutes. So this is right past the one. The
So
small
that's
one is
1,300.
1,000.
Doesn't have to do with the 300 there. That's what I was
No,
thinking
that
too.
does have to do with it, right? The longer hand is also measuring the feet, right?
Yes.
No, that's what I'm saying. I'm saying these little numbers have nothing to do with feet.
Oh,
Correct.
okay.
That's your pressure. The only numbers that have to do with feet are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9,
Okay.
0.
Got it now.
This is probably the most confusing one. But we don't have to question it.
Okay.
The next one is our turn coordinator. This is my favorite one because I like looking at the little plane move while I'm flying. All it's doing is telling you if your wings are level, or like when I turn, this will mirror what I'm doing and show me where my wings are. The fun one about this though is this little ball down here. This is called the inclinometer. And it tells you if you're coordinated in a turn. So I'll get into this later, but when you're flying, you use pedals, and that helps with your turning. And if you don't have enough of one of the pedals in, this ball will move. And how they teach it is you want to step on the ball. So if this ball moves to the left, I'm putting more pressure on the left pedal. If it moves to the right, I'm putting more on the right pedal. And that's all this one does, is tells you if your wings are level and if you're coordinated. Pretty simple. Next one, the heading. So this one's not weird, it's pretty simple, but there's like a weird rule about it. So this one on the left, this is what the actual instrument is. But what's crazy is it doesn't have to work to fly.
Whoa.
It's just like there for convenience. What has to work, it's required any plane you ever get on will have this one on the right. It is literally just a gyroscope with numbers on it.
Gyroscope.
So, do you say what's a gyroscope?
Yeah. No,
Think like a top.
oh, like a turn, like spinning, like
Yeah.
gyrating.
Yes, gyrating. Um, It's the mag compass. A magnetic compass is this thing on the right. As you turn, it's gonna turn and it tells you, if you imagine a 360-degree circle, you have 0 degrees to 360
Mhm.
degrees. If I'm pointing north, it's gonna say I'm at 0 degrees. If I'm pointing south, it's gonna say I'm at 180 degrees. This is how I know where I'm pointing.
Okay, that's pretty helpful.
And that's how, like, when you fly somewhere, you like will hear in movies and stuff them talking to the air traffic controllers, and they'll be like, vector 290. This is
Vector.
what
I remember
Vector.
Vector.
they're
Your
changing.
arrow, yeah.
Yeah. That's all it's doing. It's telling you where you're pointing.
So if you're 290, you're kind of going like northwest slightly,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
mostly west, just a little north.
Right. That'd be west northwest
West, yeah.
if
Yeah.
we wanted to get technical.
Perfect.
And I think the last instrument, yes, vertical speed indicator, or VSI as it's commonly called. What this is doing is it's telling you how many feet like per minute you're either climbing or descending. So if this needle moves up, if it moves to the 10, I'm losing 1,000 feet per minute if I'm at 10. Or
You're losing?
if this moves up to the 10, I'm gaining a
Oh,
thousand
okay.
feet per minute. If it moved down to the 10, I'm losing 1,000 feet per
Okay.
minute.
So these are in the thousands.
Yes.
That's good.
And that's all that is.
I didn't
Tells
even
you,
know you had 1,000 feet. I thought you only had 2.
hey, Grace, you're too much. You're too much,
I know.
girl.
Too much.
There's more where that comes from.
I'll ask for him later. I don't know what I have next. Oh, this is what I was talking about. These are the pedals.
Oh,
So to steer on the ground, you don't use your hands, you use your feet. It's really weird to get used to. It when I started, this was what I was worst at, was moving on the ground. I was going every which way.
oh.
But yeah, you just use your feet. Left takes you left, right takes you right.
That must be like
And
getting into a car after that. Must be like, what's
yeah.
going on? Be braking and gassing and all that kind of stuff.
But that's how you move on the ground. Not much to it. Oh, steering in the air. So this on the left, this is a standard cockpit. This isn't what I fly. I fly a much smaller version of this right now. But there's 3 things you can do in the air, and that's on the right. So the way they teach it is with a pencil. I have a highlighter, if that will do. So if you point your pencil or whatever straight in front of you and you rotate it, so if you just twist it, this is your longitudinal axis of a plane, and this is your roll. So your roll is when you're like you're like banking, you're tilted. And then if we rotate it, so now both hands, and we rotate it, this is now our pitch. It's moving up and down. This is our lateral axis. And then the last one, vertical, rotate it. This is just side to side.
Mhm.
And that's yawing. That's what we use the pedals
Yeah.
for.
Is that when the plane goes like that?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
For the vertical axis for yaw, you use the pedals. For longitudinal axis for roll, you're taking this, like, think of the steering wheel. It's called the yoke, but call it the steering wheel. If you, just like in a car, turn it left or right, that's what you're gonna do. But then this also comes like back and forwards. So you can like pull it towards yourself or push it. And that's how you go up and down. And that's how you steer a plane.
Wow.
It's
Wow.
very simple.
So wait, I feel like I'm a little, let me just get this straight. So the yaw is if you're like turning left and right. If that,
Yes.
and then the
Like,
longitude is if you're tilting.
yeah, yaw is like in a car.
Okay, yeah, got it. I don't have
Longitudinal
any
for
of the other
roll
stuff in my car, so
is tilted. Lateral is up and down.
right, got it.
And then, oh, this is one of my
Oh, I
favorites,
love this. I love the
Ooh.
alpha. I love the NATO
the
alphabet.
alphabet.
So
So it's the standard for the whole world. The standard language for aviation is English. So everybody that has a pilot certificate has to know English
oh, I
and
didn't.
has to use this alphabet. So I don't know why it was made. I know why the numbers were made. That's a fun story I'll get into. Don't know why the alphabet was made, but it's not just
I think it was a
ABC.
war thing.
It was World War II. That's why I don't know if no, I didn't. For the numbers, all the numbers are the same. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. The only one that's different is 9. You have to say niner. And the reason is
Oh,
because
that
of
they were saying that all in the movie. I thought
the
that
reason
like,
is because of World War II. You didn't want to be flying
fine.
over and saying 9,
Yeah.
so that you say niner, and
Wow.
it just became standardized. But for the alphabet, you can see them all here. You got alpha. It's people think that it's always like the same as the Greek alphabet with frats. No,
Hmm.
it's very different. Well, actually, there's a couple that are the same, but you got Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, Delta, Echo, so on, so on. You can read them.
Yeah.
My
They
favorite, I think, is Papa. Um,
Sometimes crossword clues and I like never know them. I only know
did you
I
do
know like Alpha, Foxtrot, Whiskey, Hotel because it's like a Wilco album.
do either of you play Strands, the New York Times game?
Yes.
This was the thing today.
Oh, whoa.
Whoa.
So
I didn't do it.
spoiler, um, but these were all the words today, were the phonetic alphabet.
I'm gonna know.
And then one of the more confusing things is time. So you don't just use regular time, you don't just use 24-hour time. It's called Zulu time. And this makes it so that it's the same time everywhere in the world.
Oh.
Whoa.
So for it changes based on your time zone, like how you calculate it. But we're all in Eastern Standard Time right now.
Where
It
are you right
just
now?
Ohio.
Okay. You're on the end of it.
I am.
Yeah.
Um, but it just switched from Eastern Daylight Time. It used to be +4, now it's +5 because of standard time.
Okay. Because yeah.
But basically, all it is 24-hour time +5. So, example, if it was 1 p.m., 24-hour time of 1 p.m. is 13. You add 5, and that's 1800 Zulu. So, right now, it's what, 9:30. 9:30 in Zulu time is 2100, right? Yeah. So
Wait.
then plus
And you mean
5.
24 time? In 24-hour, it's 21:30.
Yeah, 2130. But then you add 5. So really it's 230 Zulu. And that just makes it so it's the same everywhere.
How that's
I
crazy.
don't know
Like in other
how
time
they
zones, it's not +5, it's like plus something else.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't
We'll do
know all
that.
the other ones. The actual airline pilots have people that do this for them.
Mhm.
So, but I know the ones for Ohio, and that's about it. And then last thing, probably the most confusing thing, I want to know what you guys think this is telling you.
Okay.
So KCAC, is that
KCAK.
oh KCAK. Is that a station?
Yes.
Okay.
Kansas City,
Nope.
Alaska. Okay.
Okay.
Um,
Kent State.
Close.
Kent College.
Ignore the K. The K is
Oh.
Okay.
just So the K is before any airport in America.
Okay.
CAK.
Cincinnati,
Ignore the first two also, because these are like local airports. What do you think CLE is?
Cleveland.
Yes.
Okay.
So
SLP is Salt Lake. No, that's C.
these are two local airports here. So
Okay.
this is Akron Canton, and then this is Akron Fulton. They're two airports close to me, and then
Okay.
this is Cleveland.
Mhm.
So is this flight data?
This is weather data.
Okay.
This is all the weather you need to know. These are from today at 16:07 Zulu.
Okay.
Okay, that's the time.
Okay, 16:07 Zulu.
What's the 12 before 16?
Today's the 12th of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no 11. There's just the number. Okay.
So 16:07, 11. This was from 11:07 this morning.
Okay. Right.
Um,
01, 01,
Is that barometric
01,
pressure?
oh.
no, that
Is
is in here though.
Okay.
KT, kilometers, carats, Kelvin?
No, we don't use Kelvin.
Yeah, that who would
This KT stands for knots.
Oh, that's the speed.
This
The wind speed?
not it's the wind speed.
Okay.
So it's telling you the direction of the wind. So 010 is the direction. And then it's saying it's a 10 knot wind.
010, that's like pretty north.
Yeah. And this is saying they're blowing from 010,
Okay,
not
not blowing.
to
So it's-
010.
Okay, so it's a north wind. We have a north wind this
We
way.
do.
Is that a horse barn or a dam wind?
I think that would be a dam wind. Wait, the sun sets and rising. Sun sets in the west.
The Deer Valley, like.
So no, this would be a Hecker Hall wind.
Whoa.
Is that
Yeah.
what is on in Deer Valley?
Yeah, when you're on the waterfront and you need to know what direction the wind is coming from for sailing, there's the dam and then there's a horse barn, and that's
Okay.
the two winds.
Wait, can I have a Deer Valley gossip real quick that we
Yes.
blurred we
Yes.
bleep out?
What? She should.
And that's all I know.
Okay.
Back to planes
Back to planes.
and resume.
Are you going back, Alex?
No,
You have to fly planes.
I do.
Wait, okay. Actually, we can save this. Well, we'll have to go to another video anyway. But how far along are you in plane school?
Not far at all. I have the lowest rating you can possibly have right now.
Okay.
And that's because I worked at Deer Valley for 3 summers.
Got it. So did you like always know you wanted to do this, or is this kind of like more recent?
Pretty recent. I went into my junior year of high school thinking I was going to go to Penn State for engineering. And then I took physics, realized I did not want to do physics for the rest of my life. Looked up what are fun majors. Piloting came up. I said, sounds fun. I like to travel. Applied, got in. Here I am.
Wow, that's awesome.
Didn't come in with anything. A lot of people come in already having like their pilot's license.
Oh my God.
And they're out of here in like 2.5 years. Not
Wow.
me. I'm going to be here for at least 2 more years.
What school do you go to?
Kent State.
Oh, okay. It's a
Kent.
major. Oh, Kent. With
Yeah.
Kent. Obviously, because you're in Ohio. So it's just a major there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you don't even need college for it, so don't know why I'm here. TBH. But we ball.
Okay, back to the
yeah.
guessing.
We're at 10 SM.
Yeah.
Standard seismic meters.
Close with meters. Think a different like miles, and then S is statute. I don't know what statute means. TBH.
What is this measuring though?
This is visibility, so how far you can see.
Oh,
Okay.
10 statute mile, 10 is the max you can have.
That's
You'll never see anything more than that.
I've been on some planes where they're dead ass like 0.2 statute miles. Like
Yeah. That
what?
would be IFR instrument flight
Noisy.
rules. That's where you fly without looking outside the plane. And that's what I'm training for right now. So wait, let me see if I can find them. But okay, pause. Oh, found them. So obviously not every day you're gonna have low visibility, but you still have to train without being able to see outside. So they make us wear these goggles
Oh my
where
god.
like I can only see down. I can't see out.
whoa.
And
Mm,
so I have to wear these while I fly a plane.
That's good. That's helpful, I guess.
That's
Um,
scary.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we trust our instruments. We're not gonna die.
Yeah. Yeah, flying is like so safe.
Exactly. There's
Like
more car
compared to like
crashes.
everything else in the
More
world.
people die in car crashes than they do in planes.
Oh yeah. Like it's so like one of the safest things you can do. And
Exactly.
still I'm like gonna freak out every time I go on a plane.
Exactly.
Wait, BKN.
That's got to be barometric pressure.
No, we're getting there, babe. We're getting there. Think
Burger.
this can also BKN is one of four things this can say. It can also say, well, one of five things. It can say CLR, which is clear, FEW, which is few.
Broken. Yeah.
It can say OVC, which is overcast,
Overcast.
or BKN, which is broken.
Oh, clouds.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is
Um,
telling you where the clouds are. So it's saying the lowest layer is a broken layer of clouds. So I don't know how they say if it's broken, overcast, whatever. But and then the 30 is saying it's at 3,000 or no, yeah, at 3,000 feet.
Okay, so that's where the layer is, the broken
Yeah.
layer.
And then so yeah, if you look
Usually
at this
more than
one for
one layer of
Cleveland,
cloud though.
if you look at this one for Cleveland, it's showing broken and overcast.
Okay, yeah.
So there's a broken layer at
There are the
3,000
multiple
and
layers.
overcast at 3,400.
Got it. This is barometric pressure, 8/1.
No,
Ha!
this isn't a fraction. This is the slash
Oh.
is just a slash.
8/1. Hmm.
That's like a big difference. 8/1. Oh, maybe it's on the left side. There's 8 of something on the right side. There's
I have literally no idea.
yeah, I don't know what
The
8/1.
so this is your temperature and dew point.
Uh,
So it's saying that today it was 8 degrees Celsius. And
on the
then
ground?
yeah, on the ground. And then 1 degrees is the dew point. And the dew point is when the temperature reaches the dew point, that's the point where all the air molecules have become saturated and it can't hold any more water. So that's when you're gonna get fog, precipitation, cloud formation, any water formation, like that stuff.
Got it.
Grace, it's your time.
Okay,
The
this is
eight,
barometric pressure.
this is your pressure. So this is saying the altimeter should be set to 30.30.
The altimeter, I remember that one.
Yes. And then everything else is irrelevant.
Okay.
You don't need to know any of that.
They're all like, actually, they're not all the same, but they all say RMK.
Yeah. RMK just stands for remarks, and then you don't need to know anything after that, really.
Remarks, just how much your buddy has been talking.
Mhm.
How much your co-pilot is
Well, we have
saying
less than a
today.
minute. We should pause this and then we're gonna start a different meeting
Okay.
where we'll talk. How many more slides do you have?
That's it.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Then
we can do
we'll,
a little chat.
Oh
my
my
God.
God. Oh my God.
Oh
my
my
God.
God.
Oh,
Guys.
nice to see that.
The goblins are a safe space.
Apparently
Not
not.
even, not for her.
Not.
What got into you guys?
We were fighting about like where to put the
Baron
computer
Trump.
and Baron Trump.
Oh, well, fair.
Well, who go
What
by
are your thoughts on him being at NYU?
I really want to see him on the streets because our campuses are like interlocked.
Right.
linked? I feel like he's the quietest student in the class. And he just goes to his class and he doesn't participate in any group discussions, and everyone like is like, I think that's Baron Trump, but he doesn't say anything.
Correct me if I'm wrong. NYU is very liberal, right?
I mean, it is, but there's also like children of like Chinese oil magnates, magnates,
Magnet?
magnates, and like really, really rich people. Baron Trump's
Right.
kind of like a dime a dozen at NYU.
Yeah, I feel like he makes sense there. Also, he definitely like I could see him like being like, I'm gonna rebel and
Mm-hmm.
like get into the scene, like, but not in any like substantial way. Just in like a very like superficial way of like, I'm like a rich kid, like from a rich family, so I wanna like do what is unexpected of me and what's like subversive, but like ultimately like go back to what's like to where the money's coming from.
Yeah.
And like he's gonna come home for Christmas.
Right. Right.
You know.
Back to Mar-a-Lago.
I mean, he probably already like
Yeah.
lives at home. Like he probably lives in the
Yeah. Well,
Trump.
I saw he's living in the penthouse of Trump Tower.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I think so.
but imagine being his roommate. Like, imagine he was in the dorms. Baron Trump at a frat party. Paint that picture.
I don't want to.
I
Yeah.
stand by what I said. I think he's really quiet. I think he is the heart is not on his sleeve. I think he plays his cards very close. Like I can really picture him in a lecture being like so
Yeah.
quiet. You like are like, I don't even think that's like that can't be Baron Trump. Like what he just got in here and then he just left the second it was over. Like didn't say a word. Like
Does Secret Service have to go and do his lectures?
I don't know.
I don't
Like, are his Secret Service agents getting a free degree here?
know.
Ooh,
Wait,
it's a good question.
that's a good idea. I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Well, they would have to do all the homework too.
Oh, that's true.
And Secret Service.
What do you think? There's no way Baron Trump's doing his own homework.
Well, yeah, of course. No one at NYU is doing their own homework.
Right.
Well, was Ella Emhoff at your school or she graduated?
She was at NYU, I think.
Oh, I thought she was New School.
Wait, maybe let me look it up. Maybe she was like Parsons.
She may have been Parsons, but I'm pretty sure she's graduated. So
Oh yeah, Parsons.
okay. I wonder what the situation there was, but she was way less famous, like way
Mhm.
less well known. Okay.
Right.
Well, anyway,
So
speaking
you
of
guys want to know what the thing about airplane food is?
Yeah, what's the thing about airplane food?
Well, when you're eating pork in an airplane, I guess pigs really do fly.
Pigs really do fly. That was gonna be mine. The thing about airplane food is this kid kicking my stuff? Wait. Let me do a different one.
Okay.
The thing about airplane food is it's thinner end of you.
The thing about airplane food is stewardess.
Check, please.
I'll have what he's having.
The thing about airplane food is how did they get all the food up in the air?
The thing about airplane food is if the pilot's eating, who's flying this thing?
The thing about airplane food is I didn't realize I ordered the massage chair with this kid kicking my seat.
I'm trying to think. Transition from airplane food.
Whoa. The thing about airplane food is that turbulence or just my stomach?
We have to stop.
You have to stop.
It's gone too far. But my transition from
Mhm.
airplane food to movie airplane exclamation point. How, here was my question while watching the movie. The fish made everyone sick.
Right.
Yeah.
Not everyone didn't eat from the same fish. All the fish were like a different fish. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but maybe the whole supply.
Mm.
You know, sometimes it's like, oh, the fish was bad. Like, you know how it's like you shouldn't eat fish on Tuesdays at a restaurant because it's like they get the order. Or maybe you should there's a day you shouldn't eat fish because of when they get the order. So maybe it was like a situation like that where the whole school was
Uh-huh.
spoiled.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
Or maybe
So
there was something in the supply. I don't know.
yeah, maybe.
Just spitballing.
Yeah. What did you think of the movie, Alex, as an expert?
I was far from an expert here. I do not speak for the FAA or the Kent State University Aeronautics Department,
FAA, Flights of America Association,
Federal Aviation Administration.
pretty much.
But I took notes.
Okay.
I went I went into the movie expecting a lot more wrongdoing. But here are my oh, you pause.
Whoa, I thought that too, actually.
Here are my notes. Um, I went through, my goal was comparing it to how many regulations were broken. This is the book of
Oh
regulations.
wow.
Wow, you crossed
So
the spot.
these are all the rules you have to follow when flying. The opening shot broke a regulation because it was like comparing it to the Jaws thing with like the fin going through the clouds.
Oh
That did
yeah,
not flying in the clouds like that would have been instrument flight rules, and that shot did not comply with separation clearances.
yeah. You
Since,
literally would have. I would have passed out on that plane.
right.
Ooh.
So that was number one. Also, when they were in the airport and that guy was doing his stick things and then got distracted and the plane crashed into the building, they would have been all over his ass. That man would not have a
Yeah,
career anymore.
I literally would so do that. I would do that so fast. I would be like there, like, ugh, I felt so represented.
As the stick person.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh my god, my dad. I'm
You
so
want to know something crazy about those people?
yeah,
Crazy dangerous job
yeah,
because they're so close to the planes and the engines. Sometimes it doesn't happen often, obviously, but like it has happened where they've gotten sucked into the engines.
oh, it's fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because like the engines are huge,
Yeah,
bigger than you'd think. Like two humans could stand on top of each other.
in the engine.
Yeah.
Whoa, I didn't know they were that big. Wait, I have a question before we continue
Yes.
with the regulations. Like, and like they say this for every time on a flight. I'm just like forgetting. What is taxi? Is that what is that like takeoff?
Taxis when you're at your gate and you're driving to the runway.
Oh,
That's
okay, got it.
taxi.
Oh, that like 3 hour process.
Yes. The yeah.
You're like, oh my god, it's going, and it's just going.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
I start like I'm shaking at that point.
fun fact also, takeoff, most dangerous part of flight, the first 45 seconds.
Wow.
Whoa, like what can go wrong?
If
Yeah.
you pitch up too much on takeoff, you're gonna lose airflow over the wing, so you're not gonna be creating lift and you'll fall out of the sky
Cool.
into the earth.
How long does it take for you to fall? Like, how high up will you be when you
Yeah.
Like if you well, it depends on where you were, because you can stall anywhere. But like
Sweet.
if you were on takeoff and you stalled, you're like probably no more than 1,000 feet in the air.
Oh, so I'd survive.
Yeah. Well, because you're so light and petite, you just float
Yeah.
down like
You just
I would
float,
just
you
like
just
float
float.
like a. I'd be like a.
right,
You go right
right.
out the window.
I do that again. Yeah,
It's
it's one in a million.
fuck. Okay, I did it
That's
once. That's
okay.
all you got.
Uh,
Um.
I'm trying to think of what else I saw. Oh, that little kid that just walked into
Oh yeah,
the
that was.
cockpit. That is so illegal.
But also,
Uh,
I like didn't. What were they saying? Like, have you ever seen?
So I think all of them were references to like pedophilia, specifically
Okay,
like
that's what I
oh,
thought.
homosexual
I
pedophilia.
didn't I didn't get that
That's
bit.
what
Yeah.
I like was like the only thing that made sense. That they're like just want they want the little kid to like come back there because they're pedophiles.
Yeah, it's very convoluted. Because it was like gladiators. Like
Yeah, like where
um
they're.
hanging out around a gymnasium. Like
Mhm.
that used to be where like gay men would cruise.
Yeah,
And then like Turkish prison was really strange, but
sense.
I
I
guess.
guess. I guess I see
Isn't
it.
it all prisons though?
Yeah, but maybe they just want the no specificities in humor, and sometimes they used
Yeah.
humor. Um. Oh, the I forgot. I had another thing that I was like that was definitely something they're not allowed to do, but I can't
My
remember.
next comment isn't a rule they broke, but more of just something that I loved. It was when they were in that military psych ward and that guy belted out Rose's turn from Gypsy. I snapped.
That was really good.
That was good.
Like, I loved that.
I wonder if that actually was the actress.
I think it
It
was.
must
I
have
don't
been.
know
I'm
her
like,
name,
I know this was so fucking funny in 1978. Like, if I like knew who that like actress
Yeah.
was.
but I was reading Letterboxd reviews and they said it was her, and I trust Letterboxd.
Oh,
Oh,
So
whoa.
I'm sure it was. Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. That gagged back then.
my next comment was they had a third pilot in the cockpit. That's not a thing.
Yeah, I was
Whatever
wondering.
he was
I thought
doing
he was
back
the
there,
navigator.
yeah, that doesn't
Oh.
exist.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know where they got that from. It might have been a thing in like the 70s or 80s whenever that was filmed, but that doesn't exist anymore. So I was confused on that.
Okay. If
Um,
anyone speaks Spanish and can fact check that that wasn't real Spanish, 'cause it didn't look right,
That
but
definitely wasn't.
I don't speak Spanish, so I can't speak to that,
I don't either,
Okay.
unfortunately.
I speak enough to know that's not
No,
right.
yo, you smoking. No, you smoking.
No, all the signs.
Yeah.
That did make me laugh. Um, my next one was when the pilots passed out and all that, and there was only one pilot. I don't know what you're supposed to do in that situation, but you can't only leave one pilot in the cockpit because they could go insane and crash the plane into the ground.
Yeah.
So you need a second person in there at all times. Um, oh, this is also just another comment. But when that wife like got the call and was like, I don't know what they said, but she woke up and was cheating on her husband with a horse.
Mhm.
I wrote down if I got cheated on with a horse, I wouldn't even be mad.
Yeah.
Um, I just that made me laugh. Also, was the number one letterbox review. We don't talk enough about the girl that fucked a horse,
Mhm.
and I really enjoyed that one. Added it to my likes.
Mhm.
This was a smaller one, but at one point they showed four instrument panels because they had four engines. That's not a thing. More engines doesn't mean more instrument panels. It's still just one set
Is
because
it
none of
one?
the
There's always just one, or is it like one per like is there two sets on a
in the
double?
planes I fly, there's only one. I don't know what they do in
What
the
does the
big,
co-pilot do? Just sit there?
basically.
Hmm. Wait, I have
I
a
mean,
question. Just
yeah,
about flying planes again. So when you get in the plane and it's time to go, like during taxi, I guess, what's like the first thing you do? Do you step on the left and right thing? Do you click something into ignition?
like, are we assuming the plane's turned on?
Yeah, let's say when people are boarding the plane and then you're ready to go to the runway.
Mm-hmm. So what I do is you just add power with the throttle and
Throttle.
then you're just going. You're using the same like force that's moving you while you're in the air as you are on the ground.
Got it.
So it's this like my propeller is moving me in air and on ground, and then you just use the rudder pedals to move you on the
Mhm.
ground.
Did you know something that I learned kind of recently, and I'm sure you know it, is that there's only one runway per airport?
Not true. Like,
Gag.
what do
Okay.
you mean?
Well, wait, maybe I'm thinking a runway or tarmac. What's the thing that the strip that you go on right before you take off?
A
That
taxiway?
taxiway. Then that's what I mean. Is there only one of those? And like
No.
airport? Okay.
Taxiways, like, it's a full road system. I can pull up a map of them. Pause.
Okay. Because I thought only
There's
one plane could leave the airport at a time.
one plane can be on each runway at a time,
Okay.
but let me find one. What airports have y'all flown out of?
Newark.
Okay, I'll pull up Newark.
Um, no. I think I have a ranking of airports.
So, oh God, pause. This is an airport diagram.
Mm-hmm.
It has all the taxiways and runways. So the runways are those like darker bolded lines, and then
Yeah.
the taxiways are all the ones with writing on them.
Okay.
Oh wow.
It's intricate.
So they'll like when you're on the ground and moving, you're being told exactly where to go with the letters that are assigned to each taxiway. You don't just get to pick like which way you go. And that's how an airport's laid out.
Uh-huh. Wait, before like the internet and modern technology, how would you know what route to take in the sky? Like, how would you know what like line to follow?
Um,
Slash, does the internet even like affect like do you have I picture you having like a big screen and you're like the little screens on the backs of the seats. Like I picture
uh-huh.
you just like following that and like staying on a line, but like I don't even know if that's true. Like,
So there's a couple different ways. One is air traffic control.
okay.
Everywhere, at least in the US and pretty much everywhere in the world, has air traffic control, no matter where you are. So you can call them up and say, where do I go? And they'll tell you. Or there's something called VORs. I don't know what it stands for, but it's like directional stuff. So it's like if you imagine a bike wheel, it has all the spokes coming out of it. There's like the zero, there's the 10 degrees, 30, 40, all the way to 360.
Hmm.
And you like, it's really hard to explain.
Yeah, I'm
But
sure.
basically, you line something up in the plane, and that will tell you what degrees you're on.
Okay.
And if you keep on that heading, you'll fly to the VOR. And then you just pick the next VOR and the
Okay.
next
So
one
they're
and the
little like
next one.
checkpoints.
Yeah,
Because that's
exactly.
something that always scares like maybe I think my biggest fear in a plane is hitting another plane.
No,
There's no roads up there.
there's no roads, but the separations are insane. Like
Mhm.
there are so many rules that you have to follow in air traffic control, especially on like commercial flights. They are following you literally every second.
Oh, air traffic control is in a plane following you?
No, 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 no.
Oh.
They're
What?
sitting
Like
they're
up in the
I
sky?
thought you meant like trailing you like 100 feet
Oh.
per second. Okay.
they're sitting in a little building on the
Right, like
ground.
the people in Breaking Bad who I don't know if you guys have seen that show,
Nope.
but
I've seen one episode.
basically the one season is like they teasing this plane crash the whole time in all like the opening scenes and then in the cold opens, if you will. And then you find out that the plane crash was because the one character, Jane, her dad is in air traffic control and he finds out that his daughter died and he messes up and causes two planes to hit each other. So,
Yeah.
anyways, sorry, that was a big sidetrack. But okay, that's reassuring because I feel like I think I could get in a plane. I think I could get in the air. My issue would be like I'd have no idea where the fuck I'm going.
Yeah.
No street signs.
Most times though, if you can look at the ground, like at least at the altitudes I'm flying at, I just the way
Oh,
I know how to get where I'm going is like we follow highways. The way we get back to Kent's airport is we look down and we just keep flying until we see Home Depot and then we turn left.
whoa,
So, but like obviously in the commercial planes, you can't really see the ground, but you have air traffic control
got
telling
it.
you where to go.
Okay,
So you'll be good.
it's good to know.
So what other regulations did they break?
Um, Trying to think. I'm pretty sure at one point he was drinking. You can't have any alcohol 8 hours before flying.
That is no fucking fun. I think I'd probably be better after a few drinks.
Oh, here was my question I wanted to come in here with. Do you think you could land a plane if you needed to?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why?
Because I just like have womanly intuition and like I could just figure it out.
I truly think in if it was in a situation where I was doing this because like I had to be doing it, I would just figure it out. Like I would just like be like, okay, I'm just gonna do it.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
I think the average human could get it on the runway, but I don't think the plane would survive
Right. Well,
once
I'm
it
not
touched.
I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about me surviving.
Unfortunately, I don't think the outlook's not looking great.
You
Here's
just
where I
put it
think
down.
this
You
is
just
where I think people would go wrong.
Okay.
Forget to put the landing gear down.
Oh my God, yeah, true. I would forget that.
the
B,
landing gear.
Like the wheels.
Oh, I wouldn't forget that. Like the first thing you do.
B, if you're in that situation, it's definitely an emergency landing and you're gonna be landing overweight.
Right.
Because
Don't call me that.
planes they're calculated to land at a specific weight because you're burning fuel while you're flying.
Okay.
So if you land overweight, that plane's just gonna crumble when it touches the ground.
Oh wow.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that.
that's why planes have to like get rid of fuel.
Maybe
They
we
have to
could I
dump.
could maybe what I would do is I would drop some luggage on my way down
Oh,
and
okay.
hope it doesn't hit anybody.
Uh-huh. That would break a regulation though.
Well, if it saves a few lives, I'll break a few
That's true. That's true. Also, I don't think people could stop the plane once it's gonna touch the ground because just getting on the runway, you still have to stop it before it gets to the other end of the runway.
Put it in park.
Yeah. Like break. I don't get it.
I think I could nail a water landing.
Whoa.
Those are crazy.
Big wave. Big wave.
Right.
Yeah.
How do you do a water landing? Do you know how to do that yet?
I don't, and I probably will never learn.
Really?
But you have
It's
to
a
if you fly commercial, right?
it's a completely different like
I want to know that
rating.
my pilot knows how to land in water.
I
Yeah.
mean, you could like the Miracle on the Hudson.
Hmm.
He probably wasn't rated to land on water. Neither was that plane.
Yeah, exactly.
But I think you probably could, now that I'm thinking about it. Grace, one of my goals is to land on the lake.
You're crazy.
I want to do it so bad.
I want to be in that plane.